So I just got out of a screening for Plane, and to be honest, this movie wasn't really high on my anticipation list. I wasn't counting down the days to check this film out, but it just looked like a really nice throwback to 90s films, and that's exactly what I got when it came to this movie. The film stars Gerard Butler and tells the story of Captain Brodie Torrance, whose plane goes down on New Year's after being struck by lightning, and is stranded on the Philippines with his passengers, his crew, and a convicted felon. This movie is exactly what you think it's going to be when it comes to Gerard Butler movies. You know that this movie is going to be cheesy, fun, action, and it just goes for it. There are times when this movie tries to go for a very serious tone, and you just can't help but laugh and have a good time. And that's exactly what I got. I got what I wanted, and I couldn't ask for anything else. This movie is exactly what you think this movie is going to be. It's a really nice throwback to those 90s action films starring Schwarzenegger and Stallone, and this movie just absolutely goes for it. Even though when it does try to take itself too seriously, that's when it gets a little bit laughable. There are points in this movie where it tries to take itself seriously, but most of the action sequences are well handled, even if there is a bit of a shaky cam. Gerard Butler shines when it comes to films like this. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and he goes for it. Mike Colter plays Louis Gaspar, and when you look at Mike Colter, you know that he will deliver when it comes to the action sequences. However, the performance that he gives in this movie is kind of alright. It doesn't really stand out, but when it comes to Plane, you really don't need to take this movie seriously, and if you do, you're not going to really have a good time. And everybody in this movie knows exactly what this film is, and they don't make it out to be anything else. They don't try to go for Oscar. This movie is not Shakespeare. It's just supposed to entertain you for about 2 hours, and to a degree that actually works. You also have a couple of characters in this movie that are just there to be hostages, and when the camera is focused away from them and more on Brodie and Lois, you kind of forget that they are in the movie as well, and they almost feel to a degree completely disposable. Even though the action sequences does hold this film together, and there are some great gunfights in this movie that will have you at the edge of your seat and having a good time, this movie was exactly what I wanted it to be, and it did not go for anything else. It does feel a bit too long, just a little bit, but there are a couple of characters, especially when you have characters on the other end trying to find out where they are and how to get them back safely. This movie really is a nice cheesy throwback to those 90s action films that Gerard Butler has been doing since 2010, and it succeeds on that point. But to a degree, I had fun with the action sequences. Everything else around this movie could have been completely cut out, and I would have just been fine with the action sequences. So overall, I wouldn't tell you to rush out and check this film out in theaters, even though there are a couple of moments where it can be fun. But this movie is a perfect rainy day thriller. You're going to have a lot of fun, so save that cash and stream it when it comes on Netflix, Hulu, or any other streaming platforms. But those are my thoughts on Plane. This movie comes out on Friday. Are you guys excited for this movie? And also, let me know, what is your favorite Gerard Butler action film? Go ahead and drop those thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.